I felt incredibly supported through the process. There was lots of helpful information that was given, and I wouldn't change a thing about my experience. My name is Katherine, and 8 weeks ago, at the age of 44, I was diagnosed with bilateral breast cancer. Within a week of receiving my diagnosis, I met with Dr. Samoji, and within another week after that, so 6 weeks ago, I had a bilateral mastectomy with immediate reconstruction surgery. I think Dr. Samoji did a really good job of setting my expectations, advising me, what the risks were and some of the things that could happen as a result of the surgery. In terms of the aesthetics, he had photos available and gave me a good kind of visual understanding of what I could expect post-surgery. Reminding me that this was a reconstruction and not an augmentation, so not to have an image in my mind that they would be, absolutely perfect the way that an augmentation would be. Although truthfully, he almost achieved that. He did a really wonderful job. I was able to have nipple sparing and skin sparing surgery, which meant my exterior virtually stayed the same as what I was prior to my surgery. I have to say that whatever anxieties I had kind of leading up to it, the night before and the day of my surgery, I felt quite calm and ready for it. The office was really good about providing great instructions for pre-op, so everything was very clear to me about what I needed to do, and it's pretty standard, typical things before a surgery, like, medications to avoid and things like that. About 48 hours following my surgery, I actually had a video call follow-up with Dr. Samoji for him just to kind of check in and see how things were going. It also gave him an opportunity to take a look and see how everything was looking in terms of swelling and if there was anything else that he felt was concerning. The other thing that I found extremely helpful is that Dr. Samoji was quite accessible if I had questions or concerns. By phone or email, but also actually by text, which, being, I guess, a younger breast cancer patient was something that I took advantage of. And I always heard back from, someone in his office in a timely manner to address some of the questions that I had. So that actually was probably one of the best supports I think that I had in those immediate kind of weeks following surgery. Having a reconstruction, and specifically having a reconstruction that was done immediately in the same surgery as my mastectomy, has made an enormous difference to my recovery in a lot of ways. But I think one of the most important ways is that waking up from a surgery that, truthfully it's a traumatic surgery, but to wake up and still kind of look the way that I did before surgery was a much easier recovery for me from a mental perspective than had I woken up, if I was closed up flat without having had the reconstruction done. I gave this example to Dr. Samoji when we were talking that I've had family members say, you seem like, maybe you haven't processed all this because you seem like you're really doing really well, like you're doing okay. But I really attribute a lot of that to the fact that I still looked exactly like myself. Yes, I had swelling and there was, incisions and all that, but that's healing. And I really do kind of look really the way that I did before my surgery. And that's been a huge thing for me in recovering. I would say to patients, don't assume that the aesthetic part is secondary, because I can say from personal experience, I thought it was secondary, but it has been an enormous part of my recovery being truthfully as smooth as it has been. There's no question that the results of my surgery have been life-changing, and reflecting back on my experience, because it's only been 8 weeks since my diagnosis, I feel very fortunate that Dr. Samoji here at Form was the doctor that I was assigned to do my to be my plastic surgeon for my reconstruction surgery. I had a really excellent experience at Form. The doctors here were incredible with me because I did have some follow-up, not only with Dr. Samoji, but also with Dr. Jalil. The staff was incredible. Everybody was very responsive, very helpful, from the front office staff to the nurse. All of my encounters were excellent. And, most importantly, I'm just really thrilled with the outcome of my surgery.